Now let's talk about what we will cover today. There was a handful of features that we didn't get a chance to cover yesterday so that we can finalize our pipeline. Some of them will be covered today. We'll do some testing on the pipeline, address any bottlenecks that can come up, and we'll talk about building that roadmap with us, which means how can we better assist you, right? We do have a lot of additional support that you can review, and I'll talk about that. I'll showcase where that is, that information, and how our team will be ready to help you with any additional setup that you might need or questions, right? Now, just to review, yesterday we took a deep dive into pipelines, right? Breaking them down into the core features, the functions, and why they're such a powerful part of your workflow. I have here on the screen some basic terminology that we covered, right? These are the main things you need to get familiar with so you can start improving the way you utilize TaxDome to its fullest potential, right? Because if you don't understand the terms, you don't know where to click, it can be confusing at times, but slowly but surely you'll get very familiar with the language, and it will be easy for you to navigate through the system. All right, so today we'll make sure that you have that foundation that we have covered in the last sessions, and we'll explore additional concepts and make sure that the testing is functional, and we'll figure out why something's not working right, because if you build something out as well and something's not moving to the next stage, we got to figure out what that is. We want to have the logic, right? The logic of the function of your pipelines. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about some use cases, right? Because in TaxDome, we can see all of the functionality, but how is it really improving, firms in real life? How is it improving their output and improving the time that they are spending with clients? Are they making more room for more revenue? Saving that lengthy process, saving it, cutting it in half, or saving an hour or two. So, um, Katie, if you have a use case for us, because I know there's a couple out there, well, quite a few, we would need like 5 hours to cover all of them because so many clients have benefited from TaxDome workflows. But can you give us a quick, use case of how TaxDome has advanced, firms' timely delivery?
Of course. So one of our clients, Blue Ridge, was able to save 2 hours a day and doubled their revenue, reaching another 90% client retention. Of course, it didn't happen overnight. It happened because they committed to the foundational setup that we've talked through from day 1 through day 3 of this week, so Monday through Wednesday of our boot camp. So if you're wondering if the effort to build your pipelines, templates, and automation is worth it, of course, it absolutely is worth every moment you spend setting everything up.
Absolutely. I think I mentioned this before, but you spend about, you know, I don't know, a few hours building out a pipeline, and then you use it forever. So it's just, a matter of hyper focusing on your process. It takes a little bit of time setting up those templates. It takes a little bit of time, figuring out what your workflow will look like. Again, we do have templates and examples, but you might have your own way of working. So that way you can copy templates and delete what you don't want, rename things according to your process, and start tailoring the actions, right? And
And
that way,
you're never stuck with the original pipeline that you created. You can edit it at any time. Um, which is super helpful if you see that something's not working or you've got too much going on in one stage. You can absolutely edit it, whether it's in the same, the same time frame. So you're doing tax preparation and you're like, this is not working. You can change it during that tax year. If after the tax season you're like reviewing everything on what worked, what didn't work, you can change it for next season.
Yeah, that's the beauty of creating workflows, that you can edit them. Like if something didn't work for you with a handful of clients last week, right? They were confused about, sending certain information. You can probably figure that maybe the verbiage that you had wasn't clear. You can come back, edit it, update it. And the new clients that will go through the pipeline now will have that updated information get to them. So it's all about testing, testing. Put yourself through the pipeline as a test client. Your team members, put them as also through the pipeline as a test client, and get that experience, right? So have them and yourself download the client mobile app, and see how that experience is going to look like. Nowadays, everybody's on their phone, right? It might be rare for somebody to log in on their browser, but even if they do, you want to know what that experience looks like, right? So, for example, um, the mobile app for one of our clients, Sieber and Associates, they mentioned to us that the mobile app itself created a increase in client responsiveness dramatically, right? When before it was just like an email, and maybe they didn't check it for a while, and it was just this, back and forth that wasn't beneficial to anybody, and it's hard to track that. So clients really expect speed and clarity, right? So when you give them a mobile app experience, for example, with a clear and guided path, like the one that we're building now, like that roadway, that workflow that we're building in the pipeline, they respond faster, they complete tasks quicker, and they don't need to be chased, right? Because remember, you can set up reminders for any of the actions that you generate. So it's not just about automating, your firm's back end. It's about creating a really good experience for your clients that they want to engage with, and adopt these new systems that you're integrating, and have it go the way it should, smoothly, right? That's the really end goal of everything.